everyone, it's Ella Whitaker, exclusive Black Status presenter with Unique and Professional Makeup Artist. So today I want to come on here and I want to do a quick video as my customers are receiving their product of the Flawless 4. And I'm going to do a quick tutorial of how to apply the Flawless 4 this month. So if you are a customer or a presenter, you can definitely share this video. So again, this month we have a Flawless 4 bundle, which is a huge discount that consists of our primer, concealer, liquid touch foundation, liquid gold, and the foundation brush. So I'm going to show the quick steps, 3 steps, in order to apply your makeup and to do it beautifully with a flawless coverage. So number 1, you receive the primer with this. I'm not using too much. This is how much I'm using, literally looks like a pea size amount, and I'm using my fingers for this. And what I'm doing is I'm spreading it from the center out into the face. And if you have more mature skin, which has deep wrinkles in it, you want to use less of the primer product because it is going to adhere the foundation much easier. And so if you adhere too much foundation, then it's going to seep into those wrinkles. So I'm going to use just a little bit more. My face is a little bit dry today. So I am just putting some primer on with my fingers. And normally what I would do is with this primer, I would wait a couple minutes and just let it mold into the skin, let it get warm in the skin, also fill in all those gaps, little fine lines and pores, and really make them absolutely beautiful. If you don't wait right away, the primer, because it doesn't seep into your skin, it's going to mix a little bit with the foundation. That's not what you want. So just wait a couple minutes, brush your teeth in between, or even do some of your hair, and then go back to the foundation concealer part. So primer is done. So like I said, with the other items that come in this Flawless 4 is the primer, concealer, foundation, and the brush. But to save time here, I'm just going to go right into the product. So what I'm going to do is you can do the concealer 2 ways for my customers. So what I'm going to do is show 2 different ways of doing the concealer, one underneath the foundation, one topical on top of the foundation to create more of a highlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use taffeta foundation in my own color. And if I'm going underneath the foundation and using concealer for extra coverage, what I'm doing is using the exact same concealer color. This is taffeta. And I am adding coverage underneath my foundation. Because I have rosacea, I am going to go over for extra coverage. So extra coverage means if you have discoloration or scarring or dark under eyes, put this underneath your foundation. You can even add some on top if you need to for extra coverage. But I'm just using the concealer underneath the foundation to create extra coverage in the same color. So if you have rosacea, discoloration, any of those things. Okay. So, and I like to add a little bit of concealer onto the lips too, because, and I make sure that my lips are exfoliated. You don't want to do this on dry lips or it's going to even look more chapped. But if you add some concealer all over your face, even on underneath your eyeshadow, it's going to help make an even palette and help with your makeup to last even longer. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my foundation. So that's how I applied my concealer. As you can see, I didn't put too much, less is more. And as I'm putting it on, I did it with our concealer brush that I always recommend to my customers. And if you add this on this month, you'll get free shipping with that Flawless 4. So as I said, I put it on underneath to get extra coverage. You can do a little bit more, but the concealer is so thick. Literally, I didn't use very much of it. That's the taffeta right there. That's how much I have left to do, one side. So you don't need very much. That concealer is going to last you a very long time. So I've shaked the bottle well for the Liquid Touch Foundation. I'm going to apply this all over my face because on the other side, I'm going to use a lighter concealer in Scarlet, which is the lightest tone, and I'm going to create a highlight. So I'm using my concealer 2 different ways, using it on half of my face. So this tutorial is for my customers who are receiving their product, a quick tutorial that you can show customers of how to apply this. So I put on there pretty much 4 drops of foundation, and I'm using my foundation brush and dipping it in there. I'm not putting the product into the brush because I don't want it necessarily going into the brush. I want it to stay on top. And all I'm doing is working from the center of my face and distributing the product out. Less is more. This is a layering product. Okay, so number 1 was your primer. Leave it on for a couple minutes. Let it warm into the skin. And then what I'm doing is I did concealer as extra coverage in the closest color to the foundation to add extra coverage. That was my number 2. And then I'm adding foundation on top. Now, if you want to go reverse, you could go with primer, then foundation, and a lighter concealer on top of the face, on top of the foundation, in order to create highlight, which I'm going to do very shortly. So I've done half of my face with the extra coverage. That's how easy it is to put on this product. Okay, so that's one side of that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over with a blending bud if there is any excess product. I'm just going to push it into the skin. And this foundation dries from liquid to powder. So you want to make sure that you're not seeing a lot of product on top of the skin. You don't want to add too much. It doesn't look cakey whatsoever, but you want it to look subtle. You don't want a lot of foundation to really show. So the other way that I'm going to do the other side, I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to add 4 drops, okay, on the back of my hand. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So I don't have concealer on this side, but I do have primer first. And I'm going in with the foundation, literally. So I've already done my makeup, right? I've already done my eyeshadow, and that's just so I can show you a complete look. But usually when I start my face, I always do my foundation first and then do my eyeshadow because I'm going to put some concealer on underneath there and so forth. And also clean up any lines, right? So I'm just making sure, like, I use an even palette, then I do my face, then I do my eyes, and then my lips. So I'm going over the lips again. That's one side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a blending bud again. You can use a sponge, whatever you want, in order to get a little bit of the excess off. And I'm pushing, as you can see, I'm pushing in product to the face because I already have primer underneath. It's going to adhere to it. You're pushing it into the skin, but it's not going into your pores. So I've used this stipple brush that's specifically for this and put that in there. Then this step, my third step in this process, is going over with the lightest color in concealer, and I'm creating a highlight. Super, super simple. This is not hard to do. Just a little product goes a long way. Okay. I'm going to go down the center of the nose to create a highlight. I'm going to go a little bit up here. And if you would like to share this with your customers of how to apply, go right ahead. Okay. Oh, I'm going to do this side. Doing one side. So this side again, 3 easy steps. I've done primer, concealer, foundation for extra coverage. This side, I've done primer, foundation, and concealer on top for highlighting. So it all depends what you purchased in regards to your color shades, in regards to your concealer. So now I'm going over it with the foundation brush. Again, I use that concealer brush to apply it. Now you can use your fingers, but I like to always use a tool. I'm a makeup artist, so I love using tools. And I'm just adding a little bit of highlight here, and then I'm blending in the concealer. So with this concealer on top, you want to make sure that this is really blended in nicely on top of the skin. So as you can see, this side is completely highlighted. Going back in with a blending bud. Okay, and voila. This side is extra coverage. This side is a highlight. Very, very easy. 3 easy steps. Let me finish off this look with extra product of add-ons that you can use. I have lippy lip gloss that is almost like opaque, but it does have a little bit of translucence in it, and it has just a tiny bit of shimmer. I have done neutral eyes in a little bit of a light pink purple. So this is almost like a coral nude. I'm finishing off my look with just a lip gloss. Mom on the go, perfect lip gloss for you if you need this. Extra item also to add on to the Flawless 4, free shipping with that. I'm also gonna go in there and go in and finish off with a little bit of translucent powder. This is Behold translucent setting powder, and this adds no color on top. So this is perfect because it is setting your makeup. Even though it is liquid touch foundation in a powder form, I always like to set my makeup with a powder on top no matter what. And this is gonna help with people who are oily skin types, which I am. And if I sheen throughout the day, within a half an hour, usually you'll see some perspiring or oil comes up. This will stop that from happening, which is our Behold Touch Translucent Powder that you can also add on to the Flawless 4. It is currently sold out, but if you want some pre-orders, let me know. And I'm gonna finish off this beautiful look with our Benevolent Luminizing Powder. I'm going to use it on both sides. And this is going to create a beautiful highlight also on top here. With a fan brush, I'm using it. This fan brush is absolutely amazing. And even though I create a highlight through with the concealer, this is a golden frost color, which means that it's not cool. It's more on the warm side. It is very, very light coverage. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it on my eyes also just to finish it off. I'm going to use it a little bit on my eyeshadow, on my lids as a highlight. I'm going to do it on the inside of my eyes to open up my eyes. I am going to use it underneath my brows to create even more highlight, a little bit of shimmer. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to use this on my lips. So I'm going to go in there with a synthetic brush, and I'm going to add some shimmer on the middle of my lip. That's it. That is how you apply the Flawless 4 with some additional products. If you're looking for them, add one product on and you get free shipping. So this is for all my customers. If you need this tutorial, send this off to your customers as they're receiving the product, and it'll be super easy for them with 3 short steps in order to apply your Flawless 4. Thanks everyone. Love you. Bye.